The previous classes have covered most of the basic elements of murder. The contents like criminal act, criminal intent, cognition of errors of fact, etc. From this class on, we will be combining cases in order to study the charges. Now, you may have heard from your upperclassmen, or you may have even Googled my class, so you understand the intensity of this class. But if you think the pressure from your previous assignments is already overwhelming, then I suggest that you double the time and intensity you invest in this class. So, let's begin with the first case, OJ Simpson murder case. Now, OJ Simpson's murder is one of the most famous cases in American judicial history. So we're going to begin with that case. Now, who can tell me what is the charge against Simpson?
Simpson was sued for 2 first-degree murders, the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman.
Very good. What are the elements consisting in the crime?
The elements include criminal intent, criminal act, and the casualties between the two.
Sit down. That was good, thank you. Only by forming a complete chain of evidence can we prove the murderer's criminal behavior. In the case of Simpson, what did the prosecutor do to prove criminal behavior? Which of the evidence was incomplete? And what result did that incomplete evidence cause? You, wake her up. You. Answer my question.
Professor, could you please repeat your question?
In the Simpson case, what evidence did the prosecution present to prove Simpson's criminal behavior?
The main evidence includes the gloves with blood found in Simpson's villa, the socks with blood found under his bed, and it was confirmed that DNA matched that of the victims. What's more, there were several blood spots in Simpson's car, and the footprint discovered at the crime scene was left by a 12-sized shoe.
Which of the evidence was incomplete? What mistakes did the prosecution make that allowed for the jury to move for acquittal of this case?
Sorry, Professor. I don't know the answer.
Why?
Because I haven't completed reside reading.
Then what are you doing sleeping in my class? I understand you have a lot of pressure as freshmen in law school. But the first year of law school is to transform yourself from common people to the elites who practice law. Now, you must take that very seriously. That's a personal decision. You understand? Now, who can answer that question for her? You. And I hope you've read the material.
I believe a key point of evidence overlooked by the prosecution is the absence of the murder weapon. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a sharp knife. To this date, it has not been found, nor has single witness to the crime ever stepped forward. Possession of a murder weapon and eyewitnesses are both essential elements in forming a criminal case. This left the defense with a great opportunity to refute the prosecution's claims. In addition, their means of evidence collection was also called into question, since the police searched Simpson's home without a warrant, thereby violating his protection against illegal search and seizure, guaranteed by the Fourth Amendment. Finally, the credibility of Mark Foreman, the detective who found the bloody glove and the prosecution's star witness, was called into doubt. Foreman testified that around 10:15 that night, Simpson drove his Jeep to his ex-wife's apartment and then went back to his residence about 2 miles away after he murdered the victims. The prosecution used the detective's testimony as their core evidence, but the defense objected based on Foreman's past documented racist behavior. Eventually, the detective went from the one providing testimony to the one being doubted, and was even suspected of framing Simpson. Detective Foreman's lack of credibility hurt the prosecution's claims. Furthermore, of the 12-member jury, 8 of the jurors were African American. It's not difficult to imagine how destructive the defense claims of racism were to the prosecution's case. In accordance with proving the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, the jury had no choice but to acquit Mr. Simpson, since there was no established chain of evidence linking him to the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Gottman.
Excellent. You can sit down, but don't let this happen again, and I hope you've learned something from this. Okay. Thank you all for coming. That's the end of this session. I'll stay here for about 5 minutes to answer questions. So thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
宿舍小人，教授鬼畜，而且刚才在教室里的所有人都对你不公平。我知道你昨天晚上为什么夜不归宿，开司理你告诉我，你为什么不向他们解释清楚这一切啊？为什么要忍受这种不公平的待遇？
没什么好解释的，我也没有什么可诉。
那有什么我可以帮你的？
你让我一个人待着就是在帮我，我每天24小时恨不得掰成几瓣用，这让我真没有时间当你的小伙伴。
那我付钱买你全部的业余时间，你陪我吃喝玩乐还赚钱，这个交易怎么样？